the kind of cycling that I love, that I've always wanted to do.
It's been a roller coaster in more ways than one.
This is the killer.
It's hard. It's really, really hard, but it's possible. For the last 6 months, our very own Johnny Chocolate Voice Beavan has been training hard, stacking in the miles, and even sacrificing cake, all in preparation for this. We're here in Nice for stage 1 of the Haute Route Alps, the world-renowned multi-day cyclo-sportive.
So you're fit, you're looking lean, but more importantly, you've got a shiny new steed. You've got a brand new Canyon Ultimate CF SLX in GCN colours.
Well, that's right. A nice black and red livery. We got a power to max power meter on there to read all my data. Physique saddle and some very nice DT Swiss spline 1400 wheels.
We talked briefly about the alpine climbs you're going over, 22,200 metres. I like repeating that.
Yeah.
What coggage, what sprockets have we got on board? So what gear ratios are we talking?
All right, so we've got a 50-34 on the front and 11-28 on the back. I've got an 11-30 in my bag just in case, but we'll see how the first couple of days go.
I'm getting a bit emotional actually, John. Well, onward, mate.
Thank you.
And yeah, all the best.
Thanks.
Au revoir. Getting a bit emotional.
So, while an emotional Matt headed back to the airport, it was up to me to begin my Alpine Odyssey. And as Matt enjoyed reminding me, 896 kilometres and over 22,000 metres of elevation lay ahead. A fair chunk of that elevation was in store on stage 1, which I've affectionately called the warm-up. It was by no means an easy opening day at 173 kilometres long, especially with temperatures going into the 30s, but the long climb stretching away from the Côte d'Azur served as a relatively gentle and visually stunning introduction to the Alps. Stage 2, however, was set to test me to my absolute limit.
How are you going today, John?
All right. It's difficult to know how I'm going to be on the second day, though.
Right, in the feed at the top of the Col de Var. Not a bad little climb, actually. I'm feeling quite good. So, fingers crossed I can keep myself up the Isouard, which is the next test en route. I'm going to crack on, so I don't think the time limit is very far away.
Make no bones about it, the Haute Route is a race, whether you're aiming to make the podium or, like me, just trying to finish. Each stage is split up into timed sections. These will often start in the valleys and stop at the top of a climb. Particularly dangerous descents will not be timed in the interests of safety. Riders must also make it to the top of each climb and the finish by a certain time in order to complete the Haute Route. With the heat rising and fatigue building on stage 2, things were starting to get really tough.
Well, there we are, climbing the infamous Col d'Azur. And it's looking tough for me now. Quite near the back.
I was actually very lucky to call on the support of my fellow riders that day to help me up the Isouard.
Come on, lads, dig in. Nearly up.
It was the closest I came to giving up all week, but I'm so glad that I didn't. And as it turns out, these minor mental blocks aren't uncommon for those new to the Haute Route.
Well, there's one guy who helped yesterday. He's 71. He's struggling with in his head because he's never done Haute Route. That's one of the things the Haute Route, you really get it right the first time. He's never done it. And at the bottom of the last climb yesterday, he basically went to the medics and says, I'm done. And so I arrived, so I happened to know him from, well, the days before, really. And so I just told him, get on your bike. I shoved the gel down his throat, literally shoved the gel down his throat and pressed. And I think it choked, and then he got on his bike. I don't know if there's a magic thing in the gel, but anyway, he got on his bike. The scenery is amazing.
Yeah.
You find donkeys on the road, you find marmot crossing the road. The scenery every now and then you have to stop, take a picture, and go back home.
We certainly weren't short of scenery on stage 3. After the day before, I was feeling pretty dead-legged. But as it turned out, more climbing and an amazing 21 hairpin descent of Alpe d'Huez was the perfect tonic.
The final feed station, just 8 kilometers, I think, from the top. And the legs are finally coming back. It's incredible.
The finale of the stage offered a sneak preview of what was to come the following day, a short but very memorable time trial up Alpe d'Huez.
Morning, guys. Well, it's bright and early. Day 4, Haute Route, time trial day. I'm off at 8:40. Just heading to breakfast now. Going to eat a little bit, not too much. I don't want to be absolutely stuffed for this 14-kilometer effort I'm about to do. Nervously awaiting the start of the time trial. It's a pretty pro-looking start ramp. It was a really nice climb today, Alpe d'Huez. I mean, it's on everybody's bucket list, isn't it? Absolute classic. I took it, as easy as I could. And the interesting thing was looking back at my heart rate. I barely got out of zone 2, which is quite interesting. That's the impact of fatigue that does to your body. So that's another thing I'm learning this week. So tomorrow, Queen Stage. Looking forward to it, I guess. But I know it's going to be a tough day and also a long day. 3 massive major climbs. They're all very long and some of it is quite steep. But, just got to enjoy it. And, as a security measure, I went out to the local store and bought an 1132 cassette. So I may get the boys from Mavic Neutral Service to fit that for me. So that's 2 cassette changes in 3 days. So, I'm quickly learning the kind of equipment I need to survive in the Alps.
Unfortunately, it wasn't the last time I saw Christoph from Mavic that day.
Get in there. Come on.
Neutral Service was quickly on the scene after I jammed my chain, and thankfully all I needed was a push to get going again. It's things like the mechanical support, the massages, the marshalling, the feed stations, all of which made me feel seriously professional throughout the week. Oh, and the fact that I was racing with actual ex-pros like Emma Pooley, albeit several hours behind her.
I'll be honest, I think it's way too much fun to be like pro racing. I mean, it's similar in that it's racing bikes. It's different, certainly from a female's experience of pro racing, in that you race up massive coals every day, and our races, I'm sure they're improving in their toughness, but our toughest race is probably the Giro or the Tour de L'Aude, and there would be a couple of mountain days at best, and nothing like the epic stages here. So everyone in every position in the race is appreciated, and there's really every level, from basically ex-pros or full-time riders, and some very strong guys show up, right down to people who have really never ridden up a mountain before. And I think that's really cool, and everyone's achievement is appreciated, and that is really nice. And I feel like sometimes in bike races, they're super exciting to watch, but there's basically one winner and everyone else is a loser. And here, everyone is kind of a winner in that everyone is an amazing achievement for everyone.
Actually, top of the Col de Madeleine. 15 minutes inside the time limit, so made up a fair bit of time on the climb, which is very good. Just tucking into some nice bread and ham. And then I'll be on my way again.
morning, guys. It's the start of stage 6. It is 5:30 in the morning. Whew. And I'm really feeling the fatigue at the moment, but we're to carry on regardless. We're going from Geneva to Morzine today. We've got the Grand Colombier and the Zouplan to come up, so it's by no means going to be an easy day.
How many times have you guys made the trip out here to the Haute Route?
This is our second time.
Second time?
I think all of us, the challenge of, we did the Pyrenees, and I think we got a good sense of what it was about, and then have a chance to recalibrate, start out training over, and know what mistakes we made on the first one, and try and see if we can do better the second one. I couldn't have said it better myself. And I was going for the camaraderie. And also I was going for the hard reboot and recalibrate. Okay, let's do this over again.
And the friendships that we make here on the road, people always cheering you on, the French always say courage. I mean, it just gives you inspiration to keep going even when you're hurt and it's struggling.
Morning. The serenity seems like a lifetime ago.
Not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty tired now. Just had another sapping run through the valley floor. See how we go. It's hurting. Oh my god. This is the killer.
And there's also something that is, camaraderie. I don't like saying the word, but it's when somebody's down, you shout at him, he gets up, and it starts again, and then he gives you a lift. And so that you don't get it anywhere else. You can do, one-day events. You can find people that are nice. But here, it's not the same thing. It's the day after that, the guy you help will help you, and you're gonna have fun just, chatting to people. And it's very unique. It's really hard, and because it's hard, it's very unique.
Sweater on your head?
Yes, please.
Oh. That's better.
Merci.
Oh, nearly there.
Tremendous effort, very proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Well done. Top effort.
What's your name?
I'm Simon,
Ah, nice to meet you.
and I'm all the way from California.
Oh, wow.
So, congratulations. That's just here by that flag.
Oh, fantastic.
You're in good shape.
Finally.
You're riding strong. How you feeling?
Absolutely knackered.
Again, it was that camaraderie and support from people at the side of the road, just like Simon, that got me to the top of the Zouplan. And the more I thought about it and the more people I talked to, it's that feeling of togetherness that brings people here from all around the world and inspires people to do incredible things like Team Clombello, who literally went the extra mile for a good cause.
Clombello was conceived about 6 months ago to raise funds for Down syndrome in Cork, a local charity near us, and we've raised 25,000 so far by cycling the full length of France from Cherbourg to Nice, and then 3 days rest and then starting the Haute Route. So we've Garud, Ian, there's a guy Pat who's cycling just the Haute Route with us. So that's how it was sort of dreamt up, and the madness began about 3 weeks ago. It's a super event. Like, I'd recommend anybody to come and have a crack of it, because if you're into it, it's just, it's hard, as you know, it's proper hard, but it's fantastically organised. And France is a great country to cycle.
Exactly, yeah. One day left to this, and hopefully we'll be back for more.
No. We're glad we're pretty fatigued now, I must say.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you are.
Absolutely, I think we will.
We're
on this last day. But
it's a big day as well. It's supposed to be a small day, but it's not really.
yeah.
Not too far from the top of the Col de Cou. 4th climb of the day. We got less than 10 kilometers of climbing, is it?
Yeah.
Whew. Nearly over. That's it, we're through the last time sector. It's over. End of the Haute Route Alps. Not really good today. I'm a bit sad it's over really. Maybe another week. Or maybe. Here I am with prestigious competition winner Jules Doyle. We both finished Haute Route Alps today. It's how are you feeling, mate?
Yeah, there were times this week when I didn't feel that lucky to be the competition winner, to be honest with you. It's a bit of a struggle, but it's been a fantastic week, so thank you all very much. Great week, great people, great event.
What was your highlight of the week? Your favourite col?
None of them are my favourite goals. I had some nice flat sections which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
No, it was all great. It's very good. It was. It's kind of hard, really, for people to appreciate just the whole experience, isn't it? Just the people you meet, and yeah, it's tough at times, but yeah, well worth doing.
Yeah. Well, we're about to roll out into Geneva. One last time, one last hurrah, and well, hopefully it'll stop raining.
Time for a beer.
Yeah.
Jules was right, and not just about the beer. It's very hard to convey everything I felt during the Haute Route. I came in never really having climbed a mountain before, and as hard as I trained, it quickly became clear that the event itself was another level. It's the toughest thing I've ever done in my life for both body and brain. But the great thing about the Haute Route is that there are people around you going through exactly the same thing, and it's not long before you're picking your head up again, smiling, and enjoying the incredible scenery. This race will test you. But the memories, the friendships, and the immense feeling of pride I've taken from it made all the suffering worthwhile. If you've been inspired to take on something like this, and I thoroughly suggest you do, we've got plenty of tips to help with your training. Subscribe to GCN if you haven't already by clicking on the globe. Click down here for how to prepare for a multi-stage race, and for how to ride long climbs, a very useful skill for the Haute Route, click here.